Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another What's for Dinner video. You guys seem to really enjoy my previous one, which was a crock pot version, so I wanted to do another one for you, and this is going to be 3 normal meals and then 1 crock pot meal. So I hope that this gives you guys some inspiration for dinner for your family, and let's get started. I'm a little bit salty with myself right now because I already filmed 2 meals for this video and I just accidentally deleted the footage. So this was supposed to be meal number 3 and now it's going to be meal number 1, but that's okay. So tonight I am making Dijon mustard chicken on the stove, and then I'm going to roast broccoli in the oven, and I'm also going to make potatoes in the air fryer. I just got an air fryer for my birthday like last month and I've only used it once, so I'm like not really comfortable with it yet, but I'm sure potatoes can't be too hard. So I'm going to start with the vegetables, and while those are cooking, I'm gonna do the chicken. Okay, so I will have all of these recipes linked down below, but like I said, I'm gonna start with the vegetables first so that those can cook. I'm gonna cut open this bag of broccoli, and then for my broccoli, I just do olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then I bake it at 425. I do 10 minutes, and then I stir it around, and then I do another 8 minutes. Now I'm moving on to chopping up the potatoes. I am quartering them, and then I'm also gonna add olive oil, and I just add a bunch of seasonings. I usually do salt, pepper, chili powder, cumin, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, just like anything in my pantry, in my opinion. Potatoes taste so much better if they are really seasoned. So there was a potato timer, or like a french fry timer setting on the air fryer. I think it was 400 for like, I can't remember, 20 minutes or something. But if you have an air fryer, I'm sure you know what you're doing. Like I said, I'm still learning. But now that the broccoli is in the oven too, we are going to get started on the chicken. I'm first going to season both sides with salt and pepper. I am using the thin sliced chicken breast because I don't know why thick cut just like, I don't know, kind of grosses me out, the texture, something about it. But I am going to cook this all the way on both sides. I'm not just searing it, I'm cooking it all the way through. And while that cooks, I am going to chop up some garlic. So I know this sounds like common sense, but I always use a meat thermometer, especially with my chicken. Otherwise, I will end up overcooking it, and then it is dry, and chicken is just gross if it's overcooked. So the second it hits 165, I take it out of the pan, and then I'm gonna add in my garlic with some more olive oil. I'm gonna let that cook for about a minute until it's fragrant, and then I am adding half a cup of chicken broth. I'm going to stir that up, get all the brown bits up, and then let it simmer for like 3-4 minutes. And then I'm gonna add 2/3 of a cup of heavy whipping cream, and then add some thyme. And then I'm again gonna let it simmer 2 to 3 minutes. It's going to continue to thicken, and then here I'm adding 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. I'm just eyeballing it because I don't really measure anything unless I'm baking. And then once that is incorporated, I'm just gonna add the chicken back, let it get all nice and saucy and warm up, and then that is it. Pretty easy 1-pan chicken dish, and it is so good. Okay, it is time to start on meal number 2. We're gonna do a pasta night tonight. I already have some water going over there, and I'm actually going to use, I don't have another hand to show you. I'm going to use these frozen meatballs. I've actually never used any kind of pre-made meatball before. I've always made them from scratch. But I'm at a point where I'm starting to realize finally that if I am by myself with my 3-year-old and 1-year-old and I need to cook dinner, that it is okay if I take a shortcut here and there for some things. So tonight we're just gonna have some frozen meatballs, and it is okay. I still kind of feel like it's okay as far as I'm concerned. My kids are still having dinner from like a home cooked meal. So we're gonna do the pasta. I got some marinara sauce, and then we're going to do garlic bread and salad. Okay, so this is a very no frills dinner. My husband was getting home late from work this night, and so I was just trying to get something that I knew the kids would like and something that I could feed myself without causing myself too much stress. And I love that there's like hardly any prep work. The longest part of all of this was just boiling the water for the pasta. So I'm gonna get the meatballs out of the oven. I just used a jar of marinara sauce, and then I'm gonna add the meatballs to a serving platter, not because I'm fancy, because I'm definitely not, but I didn't have another clean cookie sheet for the garlic bread. So yeah, let me know in the comments, do you guys have any like go-to meals in your back pocket like this that is just like basically like not really cooking, even though you're still, like I said, kind of giving your kids a home cooked meal? I mean, it's better than like driving through McDonald's, but I know it's still not as good as everything from scratch. But when you're a busy mom and you're home by yourself with your kids, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to get your kids to eat. Okay, so now I'm getting the salads ready. I wanted to get something green and a little bit more healthy on the plate since everything else was like pre-made stuff. So I'm just doing some salad dressing and then doing some cheese, just some cheddar cheese on the kids. I like blue cheese. Apparently I'm disgusting. No one else likes it, but I love it. So I'm doing that and ranch with my salad. Okay, so we're moving on to meal number 3. I am actually just getting over the flu. So we're kind of in survival mode here, but moms don't get sick days. It's also Alex's birthday, so I just made him a cake. And tonight for dinner we're doing corn chowder. So I am going to cut up 4 pieces of bacon and cook that. And then for produce, while that's cooking, I'm going to chop up an onion and 2 garlic cloves. And then 2 russet potatoes, 3 stalks of celery, and 2 carrots. Okay, so this was my first time making this. I love corn chowder, and I was like, I can't spend $10 on a tiny cup of soup at Panera every time I want corn chowder. I need to learn to make it. So this was so good. My husband loved this, and he's not even a big fan of soup. I don't know. I think it's funny. He thinks that soup isn't like a real meal, and I love it. I like don't mind eating it in the summertime. I love soup. But he said that this is going to be like his new go-to thing that he wants in the winter time, is like a comfort meal or whenever he's sick. So if you try any of these meals, definitely try this one. My kids were like playing with the lights and turning them on and off, so sorry about that. But I'm going to cut up a yellow onion, I think I already showed it, carrots, potatoes, celery, and then once the onion, the celery, and the carrots are done, I'm going to put that in the pot with the leftover bacon grease in there, and then let that saute for about 5 minutes. Okay, so while those vegetables are cooking, I'm now going to mince 2 cloves of garlic and chop up the potatoes. Also, I'm covered in paint because I let the kids paint outside. I got them this paint set on Amazon, and it was kind of my biggest regret ever. Just joking. My 3-year-old does great with it, but my 1-year-old is just like still not quite old enough for that stuff. But at the same time, like I'm not going to deprive my 3-year-old of playing with those kinds of things just because My 1-year-old has a difficult time handling it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that is like all of her fingerprints on my shirt. So now I'm adding the garlic to the pot. I'm going to let that just get fragrant for like 30 seconds, and then I added a 1/4 cup of flour, stirred that up, and now I'm adding 1 container of chicken broth, and again, just scraping up those brown bits and giving it a nice good stir. And then I'm adding 4 cups of corn, 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm adding in the potatoes, some Italian seasoning. I did like a little pinch of cayenne pepper, which really was good. And then I'm gonna add in the rest of the bacon, give that a nice stir, bring it to a boil, and then once it's boiling, I'm gonna reduce the heat and then just like prop the lid open a little bit and then cook it for like 15 minutes. I also added some salt and pepper at the end, and like I said, this was amazing. Okay, so meal number 4 is going to be the easiest one yet. This is a dump and go crock pot meal. We have swim lessons tonight, and if you watch my videos, you know that I always do a crock pot meal on the night that we do swim lessons, so that way whenever we come home, we have dinner ready for us. So I'm going to add a packet of chicken thighs to my crock pot. And then for seasoning, I'm doing salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. And then I have a bag of baby red potatoes that I just quartered. So I'm gonna add those and then season them. And then I have a bag of broccoli. This is from Walmart. They have it like washed and ready to eat. And I'm gonna season. I did get my new crock pot. It is, I don't know, you probably can't tell on camera. It's so much bigger than the other one. And I'm still kind of getting used to it. Okay, I'm gonna do low for 6 hours. Okay, I went ahead and added some barbecue sauce for some more flavor.